It's the weekend. It's Mailbag. I'm joined this week by Pete and Foxy, and maybe Matt Fuss might appear at some point. Who knows? Lads, we'll get straight into it with the hot topic. I was thinking about the defeat at the weekend for Bournemouth, and I guess none of us have really stopped thinking about it. So I thought instead of like bringing the conversation down, I'd try and pick it up a little bit and think about brighter days, glorious sunny uplands ahead in the new Everton Stadium. So, what are you most looking forward to about the new ground, Pete?
Getting away from Goodison and the pit of misery that it is.
It's starting to feel that way, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, no. On a serious note, obviously, I love Goodison Park with every fibre of my being. But I was having this discussion the other day about talking about our favourite times at Goodison and our worst times at Goodison. And then it suddenly dawned on me there were a lot more worse times. Bearing in mind as well, I was born in '86, so I kind of missed the proper glory years. So I did come to the realization that what I would consider even the good times at Goodison probably weren't that good in comparison to what would happen at other clubs. So yeah, I think I'm looking forward to a fresh start. As much as I'm going to miss Goodison, I love it. Love that place. It's part of me. You know, my life. It's such an important part of my life. It's got so many memories with family and all that type of thing. And you know, we obviously have such a massive connection to it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a fresh start. Well, looking forward to the fume in all new surroundings.
It'd be nice. It'd be like a box fresh fume, won't it?
Yeah.
It'll be different, but kind of the same.
Yeah.
Matthew agrees with you here. He says Everton shedding the past and building a new identity away from the old cliches. West Ham managed it and won a European trophy after years of using their old ground as their whole identity. We need to do the same. Goodison is cursed. It's difficult to disagree with that, really.
When they blocked off the church, that was it. Curse started. Our home form just absolutely fell off a cliff as soon as they put I think it was when they extended the, for the disabled access, and they kind of built it up a little bit more. It's right next to me. I used to be able to see that church, and now I can't really see it because of how they've done it. And I just feel that, I think that's got a big part to do with it. I think the church was the only thing keeping us going, but now it's blocked off. The curse is in full effect.
I think you could be onto something there, definitely. Yeah. Foxy?
I mean, it's disappointing given that he's meant to be omnipresent and the kind of a new section shouldn't make any difference. I think probably similar. Although I'm very much a manufactured blue rather than a born blue. As I was a glory hunter in the 80s. I never really saw us be good, but I think that's when I first started supporting them when I was a kid. Just hopefully a reset without kind of being too into football stuff. Hopefully this is a year we get the ownership sorted. There's a piece in the Athletic saying we've only got 12 first team players. And it's generally our better younger players who we've got on contract after this year. So there's a massive opportunity for a reset and start again with potentially a new manager, potentially not, but with new owners, more money from the ground, more commercial revenues that we're seeing coming through. So hopefully we can just Goodison bit is done and it was great sometimes, but we can just kind of go again and we get to kind of rebuild the squad, new board, direction, perhaps manager, and big reset for Everton. So that's what I'm most looking forward to. But also the view thing, actually, because not a season ticket holder. Generally, the seats I get are pretty shit at the back of stuff with many pillars, overhanging stands. Getting season ticket, decent view, that'd be pretty nice.
That would be nice, yeah. The lack of obstructed views would be good, or maybe not. Really, you just have to hide behind your fingers then.
Maybe not. Maybe that's the best thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you know what? We will find out in due course, won't we? Liam said no more late away winners at the park end. Thank you very kindly. Fully on board with that. Tangled Up in Blues, the walk to it from town and a chance to reset the club's culture. The wind off the Mersey, not so much. Yeah, a bit of a theme this. It does feel like we can do something different now, doesn't it? It feels like we can hopefully leave that Everton behind and make something new. It might take a bit of time, but at least we've got a chance. TWS, an unobstructed view. I've got a post in the way of the Park End goal. Not a bad thing, mate. And I'm not getting the full heartbreak experience. Fair enough. Jacko Pie Machines, fully on board. Better beer, better food, and yeah, just I think that whole being down at the ground by the river, it's going to be great in August and May, isn't it? Not so much in December and January, but it'll be nice, won't it? I mean, I love Goodison, but I just think being down by the river will be just something else.
Yeah.
Ben, the steepness of the stands. Ben's from Australia. He's coming over, I think, the end of October, beginning of November. And if he gets to a game, he needs to go in the top balcony if he likes steep stands. That's just You've got to do that.
Is that the lad who asked me about Claire Wheeler? Who asked me to bring the Claire Wheeler shot? Yeah. Reminder for Ben to let me know when you're coming, so we can sort some tickets for Moore Park as well. As long as you're over during a time when we're playing there. Yeah,
good stuff. Belter. We'll pick that up with him. And Terry being a little bit mischievous, perfectly painted dressing room logos. Do you reckon they put that up and then painted it?
They did, yeah.
Why would you do that?
I don't get it, because I saw it when they originally put it up. They put it up, and it was in like 4 different parts. Yeah, it was in, and then I'm assuming they put some kind of like, I don't know, like plaster or something over it just to like smoothen it out. But like you said, I mean, I don't get why. And then while it's attached to the wall, then painted it. You'd think you just get it, unless it's to do with the size of it and it was too big to fit through the door. That's the only thing I can think of.
It's a weird way of doing it, though, isn't it?
Weird.
Very, very strange.
But I like as well that people are saying it's not finished yet. It definitely is. That's a finished product they put on the picture. It's not got further work to go. That is going to be the quality of the craftsmanship.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Deem better finishing from Beto. Come on. Tough crowd. Next question. Newly Blue. So he's asked, have Everton reached out to a newly reformed rock group as to whether they'd like to be the first ever artist to play at Bramley Moor? I don't think they have. I know Liam Gallagher did say he'd do 20 nights there in a tweet, but the stuff Liam Gallagher says in tweets and the stuff that happened can be 2 completely different things. Let's extend that then. Who would you like to see the first band to play there? If they do a big like Everton Stadium kickoff gig, who's the headliner?
Well, I said months ago, this similar question came up about who would you want to rock from Bramley Moor, and I said Oasis.
The timing's perfect, isn't it? Yeah, Paul McCartney, it's got to be, hasn't it? Something like that. That would be a big pull. But he's playing the Co-op instead, isn't he?
Is he?
Which is a bit weird. He's playing the Co-op next year, yeah. Co-op live.
I was convinced that McCartney would be the one to do it.
It makes sense. He is touring next year, but he's doing Co-op live. So yeah, again, the time frame fits, and that it would make sense, wouldn't it? Sorry, Foxy, you were saying Foo Fighters.
Yeah, just a big band, big stadium, big anthems, big songs, get everyone going. Not being sarcastic, generally quite quality. There are loads of really sarcastic answers we could give to this, aren't there? But in terms of like decentness, they would be pretty awesome. And politically neutral, which is important.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, if anyone, I'd probably go with Girls Aloud, but that's another story. Next up, we've got Chris, who has asked. He's got a final. We're gonna have a final look back to last week's misery with this one. What result really made you contemplate whether it was worth all the effort?
There's been so many.
There have been so many. Do you know the one that like it probably sticks out more than any, apart from last week, is Watford. I think Watford for me, with the Keystone Cops defending, Benitez on the touchline, Josh King coming back to score a hat-trick after getting completely blanked during his loan move. That just felt like this is it now. We are doomed. This is the peak of Everton. So I think that one for me really made me think, what's the point here?
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid or when I was younger and we got beat. Was it 4-1 by Sheffield Wednesday at home? Got beat 4-1. Yeah. I remember Carboni scored a couple of goals.
Did Chris Waddle score from the halfway line?
What was that? Was that that one?
Was that a different one?
I think that was a different
I
one.
think he'd left by then. Chris Waddle
Yeah.
scored a belter for Bradford, didn't he?
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was Bradford, yeah. But yeah, Carboni, and I just remember that game and thinking, what the hell are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? It was just one of those. But as I say, there's been so many over the years. I think we got beat 4-1 by West Brom at some stage as well, which was a pretty
That was
dire.
the Moyes, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. There's been too many. Oh, Wigan FA Cup, when we were, nailed on to get into the semi-final. Supposedly quarter-final at home.
It was right there. It was right there.
Right there, yeah. Quarter-final at home. I feel like that season as well, we were on really good form going into that game. And then obviously Wigan ended up winning the cup, and then we ended up with Roberto Martinez. Weirdly enough, Roberto Martinez, who didn't practice corners because he said he didn't win football matches, but he won the FA Cup with a last-minute corner.
I'd completely forgotten about that. What an absolute maniac that man is.
And then we kept conceding from corners because we didn't practice them. So the defenders never got to practice defending them. So we had like the worst record in terms of conceding goals from corners. And then we just didn't score from any either. So it was like, nice one.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. God, yeah, probably, do you know what? In terms of impact on the club, that Wigan one is tough to beat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that had long-term implications there.
Yeah, Phil Neville's last game as well. Didn't grace the pitch once after that.
Yeah. Take your Kit Kat and fuck off.
Yeah, I think it makes a difference if you're actually physically in the ground versus kind of watching it or following it remotely. So I think, like for me, I wasn't at the Watford game. Very grateful for not being at that Watford game. But I was at the 4-1 Newcastle game when all hope felt like it was lost at that point. I think there've been periods of times I never went to see an Allardyce game. So I know people compare Dyche and Allardyce. I think they're very different managers and very different personalities. I couldn't stand Allardyce.
I think so too.
As a person and as a football manager. So I didn't go to any of his stuff. I kind of just fell out with it for a bit, particularly after, because he came after Koeman, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's after Koeman, yeah. And we'd had all the hope of all the Mashiri money of Walsh and Koeman and that summer of love when we bought every number 10 going and spent all the money in the world. We went from that, and then we've got Allardyce like 18 months later. It's all pretty depressing. So I fell out with it a bit at that point, I think. And then we got Marco Silva and Brands in that summer, and I fell back in again because it's like, we're going to be awesome.
When you thought you were out, he pulled you back in.
Back in, Brands and Silva, dream team. But yeah, we all know what happened, so it's all fine.
That worked out well as well. Do you know what? I think you're right about the comparison with Allardyce and Dyche. It's quite an easy but lazy comparison to make.
Yeah,
I think Dyche is probably more like Allardyce was when he was at Bolton, not the Allardyce we got where he was just literally on the gravy train. So he's a bit more of a serious manager, Dyche, I think.
Yeah,
yeah, I can't see why people do compare. Next up is Stephen with a little look ahead to next weekend's misery. He completely forgot that Barkley had signed for Villa. So had I. So who will score first against us? Onana or Barkley? I'll also throw Luca Dean into the mix. He's going to set it up either way, isn't he?
Yeah, it's nailed on. To be honest, I'll go for all three. It's like if it's first, if it's who's going to do it first, it'll probably be Onana, won't it?
I think so.
From a Luca Dean, Luca Dean cross, and then Luca Dean will score one from like 30 yards out, like he did. Was it Burnley away when he scored around Boxing Day or New Year's? And he
scored one against United as well at home. Yeah.
That's how he'll score that type of goal. That'll just do our heads in because we'll all be arguing over whether Pickford should have done better or not. And then just to finish it off, Ross Barkley will run from like the edge of his own 6-yard box and score it. You know, like that goal he scored against Newcastle back in the day.
Yeah,
he'll roll back the years. He'll suddenly regrow his hamstrings and he'll just dance past all of our leggy defenders because they're all dead on the feet after 80 minutes.
He'll run past all of Everton's knackered players. He'll just glide past them like Johan Cruyff or something. Oh God!
Yeah. I think it'll probably be just to really rub it in as well. It'll probably be after we've equalised to make it 2-2. 90 in the 92nd minute, and then it'll be 93 kickoff, bump. Yeah, Ashley Young style.
We're all really looking forward to next week, aren't we? Foxy, can you add anything to that? The only thing I can throw in there is John McGinn goal at some point as well. But
yeah, I think from the tactical analysis, I can't really kind of compete with Pete there. I think I'm interested to see what Dyche does, because like some of our away games against better teams, he's kind of gone for it in a very mistaken way that we might be able to compete with a good team, and Villa are a good team. But if we kind of go for this, we can attack, we can beat them, we can score. We know those things aren't really possible. Whereas if he kind of goes more to like we played against City or Liverpool last year and actually go quite tight and sensible, there's more of a chance. But if he plays like he has against Spurs the last couple of years, where we just, or Chelsea last year, we lost.
So weird, isn't it? The way he does that.
He properly went for it. You're playing a properly good team. We're not playing like Luton or something. There's no chance we can compete. So just put your grown-up hat on and be defensive. So it depends what he does. Hopefully he goes to the boring 0-0 and Dyche sneak one later on. But if he goes for like the going ho, then all the ex-Everton players and Ashley Young will score against us. I think Ashley Young on goal is quite likely to.
Yeah, just to top it off an Ashley Young own goal. Yeah.
That will be the chef's kiss at the end, won't
it? And he'll celebrate in front of the whole end and wrong shirt.
Take his shirt off to celebrate and get a second yellow.
I'll be happy with that. That'd be fine.
Wouldn't he get a 2-game ban then? Because he's already had a ban. I think he might do. So we can only hope.
Hopefully.
There's always an upside, right?
Exactly. On that theme, Ben has asked, which current Everton player do you think would over the top celebrate if they scored against us in their next team? For their next team? In their next team?
I mean, Maupay is obvious.
Calvert-Lewin, would you know?
Calvert-Lewin, do you reckon? I think he'd be too scared.
No, he'd be. I think he'd be quite humble.
Yeah,
he'd do the hands thing, whatever.
Oh, do you do that one like don't come near me, kind of?
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm trying to think who else. I mean, it's echoing again.
Oh, is it? I'll mute you. There we go. You back?
I'm back.
Yeah.
It's okay. I can hear some kind of buzzing noise now, but it's fine. Oh no, it's still echoing.
How strange is that? Oh shit. I'll mute you for a minute, Pete. We'll come back to you in a sec. Michael Keane? Maybe?
No,
I think he would, but I don't think he'd do it maliciously. I think he'd just celebrate scoring.
I think if Onana scores, he'll go mental. He'll be like full smashing the badge and winding up the whole end and actually going for it.
Yeah. He will.
Yeah. Who else have we got? We don't have goal scorers, so it's hard to imagine someone scoring a goal.
This is a big flaw in the question, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Who's going to score from our current 11?
I think we'll move on to
Ashley Young would. If Ashley Young ever played for someone else again, he would go for
it. He will do again. He will do on Saturday, like you said.
Yeah.
Pete, you back?
I'm back. Hopefully. There was some kind of weird like feedback off one of your mics, though. It was like buzzing. So hopefully that doesn't. Hopefully that's not doing anyone else's head in. It was so Maupay's the obvious answer, isn't he? Maupay will just at some point come back and play against us and score and cause an absolute riot. That's just nailed on to happen, isn't it? That's absolute nailed on.
He's in Europe against Marseille.
Yeah, consolation goal.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm still convinced that Michael Keane is a centre forward. So if we ever did sell him, he'd definitely score against us, whoever he played for. Michael Keane's like a nailed on. He just would. He'd score like some absolute filthy 40-yard screaming into the top.
Like Tottenham style.
Yeah, full on filth, utter filth, and then we'd just be like, fuck. I don't know whether he'd celebrate though, because again he's a bit. But then he might do. He might have had all this built up, pent up, sort of not anger, but like it might just be the relief of it to try and to give us a bit back. You know what I mean?
I don't think he'd do it maliciously, as to rub our noses in it. I think he just would because he'd enjoy scoring a goal.
He'd forget he was there.
He just seems like a nice fella, doesn't he?
I like Michael Keane. I like him as a person. I think he's I think he comes across a really nice lad. I think he's wasted at centre half because he can't defend, but he's a decent centre forward emergency. If you've got 5 minutes left, put it this way, right? When that ball dropped in the area the other day, there's no one else in that side who I'd rather it fall to than Michael Keane. Michael Keane is the player who I know could finish that once Calvert-Lewin knocks it down. Anyone else, it's 50-50. I just wouldn't. But Michael Keane, he's scoring it, which is a weird. It's a really weird thing, isn't it? Like if you wanted it to drop to anyone, it's him.
Yeah, I thought exactly the same. So in the ground, I could see it perfectly. I could see the nod down. I could see it was going to Michael Keane. See where it was in the area, and thought he's scoring it. It's in.
Yeah,
like there was no question in my mind that he was going to score that goal. Incredible.
But then equally, once the ball started getting pinged into the box with 5 minutes to go, I was like, yeah, they're going to win.
Yeah, same thing. There you go. There's the rub, isn't it? Right. On that theme as well, God, this is seamless tonight. TWS has asked, goals you heard but did not see. So an example was a tweet from someone who said he didn't see the Shaqiri goal at the Street End in that mad Stoke game. I think the ones for me was Saturday. So we didn't see the first one because people were leaving. Musk's arrived, there we go. Didn't see the first one because people were leaving and got in the way. Saw the second one and then heard the third one. Newcastle heard the second one in that 2-2 draw. So I think they're my two.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I missed.
Yeah, I've got the same. Can you hear me?
Yeah, got you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sounds okay. So the Newcastle game, the 2-2, I left on 90 at 2-0 because I was driving back to the Midlands. So I left at 90. So I heard both of those, and I wasn't sure what had happened. And I wasn't, because it's an away raw, you're not sure whether the goal's been given. And because the second was so close to it, I wasn't sure maybe it's a VAR decision. They've gone away, reviewed it, referred it, come back and given it. So it wasn't until I got back in the car, put the radio on. I went, yeah, it's 2 goals.
Yeah, it was horrible. That was like for me on Saturday. So we were just leaving, went to the toilet just before we left, and I heard the seats go up in the park end and a distant roar, and I thought I've heard that before. It was exactly the same as Newcastle. So I walked out, and there's people walking down, fucking running, haven't they? Like giving it loads. And yeah, dreadful time.
Was that the equaliser or the winner?
The winner.
Ugh.
So they scored the second as we were on our way. Well, they scored the second and we left. Then we're like, it's not going to get any better. It will end up a draw at best. So we got off, and then no. What's yours, Pete?
Well, I actually missed. Was it Arsenal? Was that Dyche's first game? And Tarkowski scored from the corner, and we won 1-0. I'm sure it was
I
Arsenal.
think so. Yeah.
Well, I missed that goal because I went to the toilet, which I tend not to do. I've sort of got into the habit now. Actually, I say I tend not to do. I've got a habit of doing it now, where things are looking a little bit edgy, and I just need to have a breather for a couple of minutes. Normally in the second half, I'll just go to the loo dead quick and like come back, and it's almost like what's happened. But I just remember, like, it's the first time it's ever happened where I've actually been in the toilet, like, and then all of a sudden, like, you can just hear the roar and you can hear like all the cheers and all that sort of thing. And it's like it's a proper mad thing to actually experience. Like, thankfully I didn't piss all over my feet or anything out of shock. But yeah, it was just a proper. And then you sort of like have that moment. Oh, what's going on? In fact, no, it has happened to me before where the away team have scored and you can still sort of hear like you're right, Les. There's a difference. There is kind of like a little bit of a rumble, but it's not. You can hear sort of more like it's a distant roar. It's like this, yeah. But yeah, I remember that one and coming back up to my seat. And when I got back there, everyone was like, "Fuck off, go again." So I think, yeah. So I missed the first goal under Sean Dyche.
Oh well, got the result though. So
yeah, well that's it. It's all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah. Matt, any goals that you've heard but not seen?
More than I can count. I think the two that really annoyed me was the 3-3 against United, and my dad made us leave on 3-1, and we heard both of those on like when this first one went in, I sort of stopped and went like that. I was like, no, surely not. Surely we haven't got time for another one. So we just carried on going. And then we were just about getting onto county. We heard the roar of the equaliser. And I was like, I just looked at my dad like, this is what happens when you leave too early. So after that, I started timing the injury time on my watch.
Oh, that was a perfectly reasonable bail, in my opinion, though, that. 3-1 down against United, last minute. We're never coming back from that. Typical.
There's been a few more away ones as well. I remember a few more away ones where because sometimes when you're getting absolutely battered, you're scared that the coach is going to leave without you. Do you know what I mean? I remember one against Spurs. Yeah. I think it was that season where we just stayed up after we'd been beaten by Burnley, and then we got battered by Spurs. I think it was like 5-0, and most of the end was empty on 60 minutes. And I think that was possibly at 4. And then when I left, there was another big roar, and you're like, oh god, not more, sort of thing. And then I remember, I think that was the night. There was that one, and I'm sure we played Burnley and Spurs like sort of quite close together away. And I just remember thinking, we're gone here, we're gone. And then somehow we pulled a miracle out the bag and survived. Like.
Yeah. Chelsea away last season, the 6-0 was like that, where the away end just empties, and it's like, why am I still here? It's one of them.
And everyone hates you when you get back on the coach because you're the last one.
What did you stay for, now, Ben? Matt, you turned up just in time for Maggie's question. Matt Flusk and Les Roberts. Great. Have you got anything?
Anything in particular? Today, everything's still crap, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got 3 words. Tax the rich. That's it.
Yeah. People should go to prison for a very long time over Grenfell, and they won't.
Yeah.
Half of them are probably in the House of Lords already. Not so much a soapbox, it's just a little gripe, but yeah, I don't know.
We'll move on. It'll drag us down if not. Foxy, cracker one for you here. What's the best thing you've ever won at bingo?
Best thing I've ever won at bingo. So it's not quite bingo, but like generally questions I don't have an answer to. I'm just going to change the question slightly. We had we had a company golf event. So it's like 100 people's company golf event about 15 years ago. And there's like 20, 30 people from the company representing, do all the stuff you do at kind of golf event type stuff. At the end of it, we had a meal, a few drinks, and there's a raffle. So on the table, loads of prizes from the raffle. It's like a 20 quid entry to the raffle. So gave me 20 quid and part of a kind of a charity auction thing. And there's one item on the raffle that was pretty decent. There's a really nice golf bag, and I had my golf bag for like 20 years. So I needed a new golf bag. And people going through the draw, and no one was claiming the golf bag. They're getting like bottles of wine and chocolates and crappy books about the industry that I work in, all pretty boring stuff. And there's this golf bag left. And about like the 4th ticket to get pulled out from the end was me. So I kind of 4th ticket comes out from the end, me. I go up, pick up the golf bag, put it under my arm to walk off, and it's a really nice golf bag. They call up the next ticket because he knows I work for the company. He just thinks I'm handing stuff out. So the next guy comes up and he goes to take the golf bag off me. And he's like a proper paying customer for being at the event. And I just went to him, it's mine. And I held him to the golf bag and walked past him and let him go and pick up a crappy book on the industry that I work in. And I've still got the golf bag. I've used it for like the last 15 years, and it's an awesome golf bag. I went back to my table carrying my golf bag, and I was with like a load of work colleagues and mates and some senior managers. They're all like looking at me going, I paid my 20 quid.
Yeah, that's right.
As anyone else, so I kept it.
I hate it when people, but you know when people say something like, "Oh, if I win, I'll put it back in." No, do one. Like, you know, just don't buy a ticket if you're going to be like that, because you're going to win. Because I won it. I don't care if I've organised it.
It was just a look on the other guy as he approached me to take it off, and the surprise in his face. I wasn't just going to hand it over. I was like, "No, I'm keeping it."
That could have escalated.
It could have done. I mean, I'm still in the company, so it hasn't gone too bad. But
well, there you go. It's all Millhouse for you there. Pete.
Yes.
What's your most indulgent pasta recipe?
Oh, Maggie, get a pen and paper out, kid. Right. So we're going to get. I did see this question last night, so I am prepared for this. So what you want to do is you want to get some chicken breast in a baking tray. You want to season it, salt and pepper, crushed garlic, chop up an onion, olive oil, and then mix it all in. Lash it in the oven, 200 degrees, 20 minutes. Cook for a bit. Turn it over after 20 and then finish it off for another 10. Anyway, keep basting it. And then meanwhile, what you're going to do is you're going to get some bacon lardons. You're going to fry them off. You're going to cook some tagliatelle on the side. Tagliatelle, by the way, it's got to be tagliatelle. Once the chicken's done and it's all sound, and say keep basting it. Take it out, chop it up into little bits. Add the whole thing to the bacon lardons. You can also add some mushrooms as well if you want before, as you're doing the bacon, lash some mushrooms in. So you get all of the stock and the onions and the garlic and the chicken, lash it all into the pan with the bacon, double cream, layer that thing with double cream. Then you get a load of black pepper, you get a load of Parmesan cheese, and then you finish it off with some fresh parsley. And then obviously you have to add the tagliatelle to the sauce. You don't put the sauce on the tagliatelle. You add the tagliatelle to the sauce. You mix it all in. As safe. Sprinkle some fresh parsley, load of Parmesan, load of black pepper. Job's a good one. Beautiful.
There you go.
Do you know what? Next time I do that, what I'll do for you, Maggie, I'll do a video for you. I will do an instructional video for you so you can see what this is all about because it is beautiful.
Cracking. We'll all have that.
Tagliatelle McFarlane, they call it.
Yeah. I am quite hungry now, so that does sound good.
That's great.
We'll get off in 10 minutes anyway, it's fine. Next up, another one from Maggie. She could have something here. Countless teammates, 13 managers. At what point do we realise that Seamus Coleman was the curse all along? I mean, there could be something in that. You can't argue with facts. Do you know what I mean?
It's when we win a cup next season after he leaves, isn't it? That's
exactly.
Yeah.
That'll be how we know.
Do you reckon they'll bring him on the pitch and bring him on the pitch full Everton kit, even though he's left a year before, go up and claim the trophy?
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Like John Terry style, just for.
Well, it's like when we got to the FA Cup final and Jagielka and Arteta were both out. They'd both done their ACL, and they were both named on the bench for the FA Cup final just in case we won it. So we effectively had 2 less subs because we just named them in the matchday squad, even though they had no chance of playing.
Yeah, probably a bit pointless, really, when you think about it, wasn't it? On the subject of subs, Toffee Nose has asked, Tangled Up in Blue, sorry. Given his seeming dislike for subs, which does Dice hate more? Crimson Tide come from Red October, beneath the waves or subs weekly? Can we call him subs weekly? WEAKLY. Nice pun. I like that.
Nice.
Pick a film. Don't really want to talk about Dice's subs because we talked it to death and it doesn't end. But what do you reckon? I'm gonna say Hunt for Red October. He's not a Sean Connery fan.
No.
Do you reckon he's a Beatles fan? Because I was going to say Yellow Submarine. Because I suspect he's not. He's not.
Do you remember when Klopp turned up in that Beatles t-shirt on his first press conference? That was
doesn't surprise me.
Jesus.
Oh, he's insufferable, him.
Oh
my God. Do you reckon, just as an excuse to mention him, I reckon he's going to be one of them who's secretly absolutely fuming if they do well. Do you know what I mean? He'll try and be all magnanimous about it and be like, oh, I'm so proud. But actually, but genuinely, in secret, he wants them to lose every single game that he's not there. And at some point, if they do well, he will come back and act like, oh, yeah, you're doing a great job, little pat on the head. As if it's like, you've taken over my team. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like he's like the ultimate. He'll end up being like the ultimate bitter ex. He just won't let it go.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If they do badly, it'll be because he's gone. If they do well, it's because he was there in the first place.
Yeah. I'd like to think instead of a pat on Slot's head, he'd just do like a smoothing down of right down his face and his cheeks, something like that. Just his whole head is so smooth, though, Pete. That's what I can't get over.
Yeah.
It's like entire head is bald. It's mad. It's
Yeah.
like just get some facial hair or something. Has he got
Is it-
eyebrows?
What's going to ask? Has he got eyebrows?
He just, yeah. Oh. He looks like Krang off Ninja Turtles. Maggie again. Who out of the San Marino footy team could do a job at Everton?
All of them. You've won more games than Everton this season.
Whichever one's a painted decorator.
And last one from Maggie. What would be your WWE walkout tune? Please also do the walk you would do.
Oh.
Mine would be the theme from Steptoe and Son, definitely.
The International.
Sorry, go on.
No, it'd be the Red Army Choir version of the Internationale.
Yes.
I reckon in memory of Goodison, Boys Don't Cry by the Cure. Because I do, most times I go there.
Pete, what are you walking out to? I can see you giving it the big Vince McMahon licks as you walk out there, Pete.
Oh yeah, I'd get me walk. My walk would be down to a T. I'm not going to do it here. I'll say,
No,
yeah, hold on. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you've got to give it all that. I think you've got to fully commit to it. You can't be half-assed when you do your walkout, can you?
No, not at all. No.
Do you know what I'd go for? Have you seen Snatch? You know,
I've never seen it.
Oh, right. Well, as always, irrelevant now. There's a song on "Standing on the Shoulder of Giants" called "Fucking in the Bushes."
Very underrated. Album.
Yeah, it's that's Be Here Now. "Standing on the Shoulder of Giants," I think, was the 5th or 6th. That Heathen Chemistry. Anyway,
it was the 4th.
4th, yeah. There we go.
If you don't include the master plan.
Yeah, and "Fucking in the Bushes." It's kind of like a bit of a. It's like a there's no lyrics to it, but it's just a proper boss walkout theme. But they use it in Snatch for the final fight when Brad Pitt walks out, and it's just boss. So
it's on your it's on your Feral Trolleys playlist, isn't it, lads?
It is. Yeah. It's got 140 songs on that now.
Really? Can you send me a link?
Oh, it's a belter. Yeah, everyone look up Feral Trolleys on Instagram and Spotify. It's good account.
That's a belter on that, though.
Yeah, it's a proper, like, ready to... I'd end up, like, if I saw any, like, cockeyed kid in the audience, he'd be getting a little kick or something. I'd be ready for him.
Rip his banner off him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that banner would be torn right up.
Have you seen the original footage of the people they sample at the start of it?
No.
I don't know if it's from Woodstock or it's from like 60s festival.
That's right, yeah.
Festival on You Bastards. If you look, have a look for the original footage of that. It's incredible. And the woman who's also sampled in it. It's so funny. It's not at all what you'd expect them to look like.
Is it because someone trashed the festival? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
you want to break our walls down and you want to destroy us, and you go to hell. Yeah. I like that. It's very apt for Everton that as well, though, isn't it? You know, like when you're in a relegation scrap. I used it last season on the Al Instagram story. It's like when the Premier League was taking points off us, I was like, "You want to break our walls down? You want to destroy us?"
That is a belter choice. That Liam has asked, "Why do we have to keep doing this?" Everton, that is not Mailbag. Both, really.
Both, yeah.
Yeah, we just do, don't we? We just can't not.
Yeah, there's no real answer to that.
It's what we do.
I think if we had a choice,
the social experiment never ends.
It really doesn't. We can be pushed pretty far, it seems. TWS. I'm still seething about Mope or the social media team coming across as deluded, classless, and spoiled. He's off my Christmas card list. Who's off yours? Early Christmas question here, but let's go for it. Sean Dyche for me. He wasn't on it anyway.
Grow up about Mope.
What's that?
I think people need to grow up about Mope.
Yeah, I'm not bothered.
I think people are just taking it far too personally, and it's actually really funny.
The biggest disappointment with Mope is he could have been the ultimate Everton shithouse. Like if we would have taken to him, he could have been the ultimate. Like we could have loved him because if he was doing it, that's what I mean. He had that he had that level of shithousery that we all absolutely love and adore, but it just didn't work out, did it?
Had he scored that goal in the derby, had that gone in, everything could have changed there. Everything. We would have loved him. And as I say, he's just one of them players where, like, I just think that we could have potentially, he would have had like icon status. Because imagine if he wasn't directing it all at us and he was directing it towards Copites, we'd just be like, imagine a derby or just wasted. No, it was a big wasted opportunity by everyone involved.
Yeah, fuming.
Has anyone actually got a Christmas card list, by the way? I haven't.
No. Someone gets a text off me, that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't even give you family Christmas cards.
No, I've kind of stopped doing that now.
Save the rainforest.
Exactly, not being tight, it's just kind of pointless, isn't it?
Well, I've got like Christmas cards that I've had since, like from when you're a kid and you keep them off like certain, like family members and stuff. So we tend to get like this, like the old cards out at Christmas because they're like nice cards, you know what I mean? Almost like a bit of a decoration type thing. Yeah, so I just like it's Merry Christmas, innit? It doesn't have a year on it.
I think they look quite nice, don't they? It's kind of quite naturally, obviously seasonal. Do you ever get those email Christmas cards? And you're like, it's completely pointless. If someone emails you a Christmas card, like I can't do anything with it. I've looked at it, I appreciate it. You could have sent me a text or a WhatsApp saying Happy Christmas, fine. I'm literally just going to press delete, and at a point I have to empty my deleted items folder to clean it up. It's one of the
ones that just throw viruses on your computer as soon as you click play. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Here's a Trojan.
They have like a Christmassy jingle and then a robin going through a snowfields village. I've wasted.
Yeah, we're really embracing the true spirit of Christmas here, aren't we? We really are.
That can go in the bin. But room 101. That can go in the.
I enjoyed the question. That's a good opportunity to be grumpy about Christmas. Is what Mailbag should really be all about. So more of those questions.
I do like Pete's theory though, that basically if anyone says, why didn't you get me a Christmas card? Well, I got you one last year. Or I got you one 3 years ago. It's still valid. There was no date on it.
You threw it out. Nice one.
Yeah. There you go. You get one Christmas card off me in your life and that's it. Buzzy for life.
You're done.
Cherish it.
Yeah. That's a good idea. I like that.
Keep them, put them back up.
Ben, again, should you ever get that old thing back, returning managers, players, etc., is it a good or a bad idea? David Moyes is definitely going to manage this team before the end of the season, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
No. Matt looks indifferent. Foxy says no. I think there's just an inevitability to it.
I think it's anyone but Dyche it'll be him, but I don't think Dyche goes before the end of the year.
No, I don't either.
I just don't think we can afford to. I just think they'll be looking at it. I don't know if we've got anyone who's got the who can actually sack him, but I just don't think we've got the money to. But Moyes is the obvious choice. If Dyche was to get sacked, it would be because we've gone into such a mess that we are cut adrift at the bottom. And the only manager who's available, who realistically could come in that sort of situation, will probably be Moyes. I've seen people
love that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, because it's a no-lose situation for us as well. Like if we go down, you blame Dyche. If we stay up, it's because he's great. But then you look at it, and I've seen people throwing out names like Graham Potter, and it's this obsession with him just does my head in. I feel like I'm repeating myself so much with him because the fella lost his head because Brighton fans booed him once. Could you imagine? He wouldn't last a week at Everton. He wouldn't get through the warm up at Everton. The fella's head would just fall clean. Oh, I'm telling you, he'd walk in the first match. I'm telling you now.
But also his style of football, of possession based and doing nothing for a long period of time, it's not going to go down well either. So it's just would be horrific.
And to say nothing of the fact that he pied off Man United this summer. So why the hell would he come here?
Did he really? Didn't know that?
Well, yeah, that's why they ended up giving Ten Hag another deal because no one else wanted it.
God. Not. Yeah,
other than all of that.
What's that?
Other than all of that. Other than that, how was your trip to Dallas, Mrs. Kennedy?
Yeah, managers and players, it doesn't work out, does it, usually, when you go back?
Pino.
Kendall 2 and 3 didn't. Players haven't really. Swerve, I reckon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any. Yeah. We've had quite a few, though, haven't we, over the years?
Yeah.
I don't say that many.
I suppose Rooney, when he came back, he wasn't bad. He had a
Double
decent
figures.
season, to be fair.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Unsworth did a job when he came back.
Yeah.
Pienaar, like you said. Landon Donovan's a little bit disappointed because he didn't have many games, did he, the second time round?
I was just
Pistone, there's another one. He did a job when he came back.
Would you take Richarlison back on massive money?
Oh
God, all day,
massive
yeah.
money. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying never
Massive
go
money.
back, but for him, go back.
Yeah.
I think he'd come back for less money, though. I think he'd take a cut to come back. Myself. He just turned down. He just turned down going to Saudi, didn't he? They would offer him silly money, and he turned it down. So they just leave the Premier League. He's got the right attitude, that fella.
It's quite standard for Spurs to spend huge money on a player, and like 2 years later, loan them back to the team they bought him from like 40, 50, 60 million. So I guess there's every chance next summer they get to that point.
I think they
I'm
will.
hoping January.
It's costing him his Brazil place as well.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he sat on the bench for them.
Yeah, true. Yeah, get him back. It was a transfer that didn't suit anyone. Final question. So last week I missed a few out. I'll put them into next week's because we're out of time. Sorry to everyone who sent those questions in, but I'll put them in next week. The final one's from Warren. And basically, I'm amending this. So apart from Richarlison, has anyone got a weird celebrity crush?
Dwight McNeil. I don't know whether it's weird. I mean, because weird implies that it's like an odd one. But I would like Amanda Holden is just the one, isn't she? I just don't think you can. Amanda Holden. I mean, she's probably like 15 years minimum older than me, but I'd risk it all for Amanda Holden.
We need to get back to Wembley, don't we? So you get this chance.
Yeah, 100%. I'd risk it all.
Basically.
Holden, the one.
Foxy?
I've got one, and again, I'm going to just stretch the question slightly because he's not really a celebrity, but I nearly wore this t-shirt at the weekend.
Oh, look at that!
So it's got to be him, the Ginger Ninja. It's got to be him. I think he's had a tough start. He did great with us last year. I made no apologies for Dyche. He's all right. We'll be fine. He'll lead us to the promised land. But I'm glad I didn't wear it at the weekend, given the reaction of the
game. Need to get you and Dan round the table for a counter, I reckon.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Matt?
Foxy Robbie answered there. I was going to go for the same cop out. I agree.
You can go with that.
I agree with Mac there. It's like Mac said, there's no like weird ones, is there? They all kind of make sense for their own reasons. Do you know what I mean? You could say like Miley Cyrus is a weird crush, but it's not weird at all because she's fit and she kick your head in.
What more could you ask for, basically? And sing while she's doing it. Even better.
In that raspy 40-a-day voice. Oh.
Well, for mine, I'm going to do a call back to a mailbag from about 6 years ago and simply say Jennifer Lawrence and sausages. That's all I will say.
That was 6 years ago.
If you know, you know.
That wasn't 6 years ago.
Oh, it was about that. It was in the tower. It was pre-COVID. Yeah.
Is that a safe Google?
Oh. Wow.
There's a clip of it somewhere. I'll find it. It's it was one of the ones in the tower where people fall about laughing because I put my foot in it. It was a regular. Right, that's it for this week's mailbag. Thanks to everyone who sent questions in. As I said, Sam, Alex, Greeny, Gary, I'll get to yours next week, definitely. Thanks to Foxy, thanks to Pete, thanks to Matt. Enjoy your Everton free weekend, and we'll be back next week. Up the toffees.